Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're exploring something I know many of you have probably been curious about: the world of premium credit cards, specifically the American Express Platinum card.
hmm
Why now? Well, because there's a really significant refresh apparently on the horizon. It's going to impact both the U.S. consumer and the business Platinum cards.
Yeah, it's more than just a tweak, isn't it? They're calling it their largest ever overhaul, which definitely warrants a deep dive like this. So our mission today really is to unpack these changes that have been announced, figure out what they actually mean for people who have the card now, or maybe you're thinking about getting it, and hopefully help you navigate what could be, well, a pretty strategic moment.
Strategic, yeah.
Because this isn't just, adding one small perk. It touches pretty much everything: travel, dining, those lifestyle benefits, even apparently the look of the card itself. Amex seems really focused on boosting those core things. People love lounges, hotels, dining, but also building out some significant new partnerships with brands.
Right. And it sounds like they're really putting their weight behind it. So let's start with maybe the crown jewel for a lot of Platinum card holders: airport lounges.
Always a big one.
Yeah. And this is big news. Amex is planning 3 brand new Centurion lounges. Those are their own signature spots, often pretty exclusive, great amenities usually.
Mhm.
We're talking Newark, EWR, Salt Lake City, SLC, and Tokyo.
Wow, Tokyo too.
Yeah. So that's going to bring the total Centurion lounges up to 32. And that supports access to what? Over 1,500 lounges globally through their whole network. That's a serious footprint.
It is a serious footprint, but I think, it's not just about adding more square footage. This expansion, it really feels like Amex doubling down on its biggest sort of competitive advantage over other premium cards.
Mhm.
So for you listening, this could mean hopefully less overcrowding in some popular spots, maybe a bit more comfort, a more reliable experience before your flight, especially, in busy hubs like Newark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's really about making sure that premium feel is consistently there for you.
Okay. Okay. So beyond the airport, they're also looking at hotel privileges,
Yep.
seeing partnerships with hundreds of new hotel properties coming into the Platinum portfolio, offering, extra perks for stays. I mean, who doesn't like a little something extra when they check in?
Exactly. It's
Right.
like finding a bonus waiting for you.
Yeah.
And this really plays into that whole luxury travel angle Amex is pushing. It's not just about, booking a room. It's about getting an enhanced stay. Maybe that's a room upgrade, maybe late checkout, perhaps a credit to use at the resort, things that add actual tangible value.
Right. Reinforces that premium idea.
Precisely.
Now, okay, let's shift gears to dining, because this is where I think it gets really interesting, especially for the foodies out there.
hmm
Amex is planning a major expansion across both Resi and Talk reservation platforms. Now, for anyone unfamiliar, these are, pretty high-end booking services, often for those really sought-after restaurants.
The curated ones.
Exactly. And this expansion is set to add access to roughly 7,000 new venues.
7,000.
7,000. I mean, think about that. That's a lot of new possibilities for potentially exclusive dining experiences.
Yeah. And the key takeaway here, I think, is how these new partnerships really boost the card's value proposition, specifically for people who genuinely love fine dining or, are always hunting for those unique food experiences. It's not just getting a reservation. It's about getting access to this much wider network of top-tier places that, frankly, might have been harder to get into before.
Right, kind of smooth things out.
It removes a real friction point for a certain type of cardholder, definitely.
And just briefly, it's not only travel and dining, they're also mentioning bolstering lifestyle perks, new statement credits with different brands, some exclusive events, kind of trying to cover all the bases for that premium lifestyle feel.
hmm
However, all these shiny new things, these enhanced offerings, it naturally leads us to the elephant in the room, right?
What cost?
The cost. What's the price tag on all this? Let's talk about the annual fee. So right now, the Platinum card is $695 a year, which is already substantial.
It is.
But while Amex hasn't officially confirmed a change, analysts are speculating. They're saying the fee could potentially approach $1,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen similar hikes with competitors, right? Like Chase's Sapphire Reserve went up quite a bit, so it's not totally out of left field.
No, it's not unprecedented. And this really brings up a crucial question for you listening. Are the added benefits going to actually justify that kind of potential fee increase? Historically, Amex does tend to follow this pattern,
Right,
higher fees, but they often package them with more statement credits,
right.
those offsets.
Exactly.
But the challenge for you as a cardholder is, can you actually use those credits effectively enough to offset the higher cost? Or are they just sort of theoretical value on paper? That's a really key thing to think about.
That's a very fair point, making sure the math works for you. But okay, before we get too bogged down in the potential fee hike, let's pivot because there's some really positive news right now.
Okay.
The current welcome offer is, well, it's excellent. If you're thinking about this card now, you can potentially get up to 175,000 membership rewards points.
That's huge.
It is huge. You have to spend $8,000 in the first 6 months, which is standard for these premium cards bonuses.
Yeah.
But 175,000 points, I mean, just to put that in perspective, that could be worth nearly $3,000 in travel value, depending on how you redeem, maybe using that rough 1.7 cents per point valuation people often use.
That is a considerable chunk of value right up front.
Yeah, a great way to kickstart things.
And what's interesting, I think, is the timing. Offering such a generous bonus right before this major refresh, well, it feels pretty strategic on Amex's part.
Yeah.
It suggests they maybe want to bring in a wave of new card holders now. People who can lock in the current $695 fee benefit from this really big initial bonus before whatever the full changes and potential fee hike look like are actually revealed.
Okay, like an incentive to get in before the door potentially closes on the current deal.
Exactly. Could be a smart move if you're already considering it.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together for the listener. What does all this mean for you? Should you, jump in and apply now or maybe hold off?
The big question.
The big question. Based on what we're seeing, there seem to be some pretty clear scenarios. Reason one to apply before this refresh happens. You lock in that current $695 annual fee, at least for the first year.
Right.
And you get the existing set of benefits, which are already pretty solid. Plus, crucially, you get to leverage that massive 175,000 point welcome offer that's available right now.
So locking in known value, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. Known value, great bonus. Now, on the flip side, why might you maybe wait? Well, maybe you're the type who really prefers to see the full finalized list of new benefits first. You want to understand every single new perk, every new credit before you commit, just to be sure it perfectly matches your spending and lifestyle.
Makes sense. You want the complete picture.
Or maybe it's simpler. Perhaps you just don't really need the card right now before these changes fully roll out, and you're perfectly comfortable waiting to see what the updated package looks like, even if the fee is higher.
Yeah, if there's no immediate urgency for you.
Right.
So, it really boils down to this calculation. Weighing the known value you can get now, the current fee, the huge bonus against the speculated future value, the potentially better perks, but also that potentially higher fee. And you absolutely have to consider your personal habits, your travel patterns, how you spend money. Will that enhanced lounge access really benefit you? Will you actually use the expanded dining network? Are the new hotel perks relevant to where you stay?
You really need to think critically here. It's about making the best choice for your own wallet, your own lifestyle. It's about what you value most in a card like this.
Good point. So to kind of sum it all up, Amex is definitely doubling down here. They're seriously upgrading the Platinum experience. You can see it particularly in travel and dining, maybe even the card's look and feel. But yes, it seems almost certain to come with a higher premium price tag, possibly pushing towards that $1,000 mark.
Seems likely.
But for those of you who maybe had this card on your radar, this moment, right now, before the changes hit, it could indeed be a very strategic time to think about applying.
It's always fascinating, isn't it, watching how these premium cards evolve. They're constantly trying to find that balance between luxury, actual utility, and, well, the cost. And this really brings up, I think, an important final question for you, the listener, to reflect on. How do you personally weigh the perceived value of these upcoming new perks against what will likely be a higher annual fee? What really stands out to you as the potentially most impactful change, or maybe the most valuable potential benefit in this whole grand refresh they're talking about?
Absolutely. Take a moment. Think about your own lifestyle, your upcoming travel, how you spend. Do these enhanced features truly align with what you need and value? Keep digging into what provides real, tangible value for you. That's all the time we have for this deep dive into the potential Amex Platinum refresh. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.